all in one. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Steve. You do well. Thank you. And thank you for welcoming me to your church, your shrine. I got to come well. So let me answer. No, you can just say I got to show well. I got to show. Now you still go tire for me. When I say not go tire for me, I got to show well. So you asked about whether or not I'm obedient. You asked about whether or not I will compete with my elder brother, Dr. Alex Oti. But I think I missed your second question, Stephen, if you don't mind.
Yeah, the second one is: can we obedient say we have an obedient governor in the government house? Will we be right to say so when you become the governor?
Okay, thank you, Stephen. Thank you very much. Am I obedient? The short and simple answer is yes, I am obedient. But I think there's a longer answer, if you permit me, because I think it is more about an obedient state of mind. You know, if we look back to October 2020, when we had the NSAS movement, when for the first time in a long time, ready to take their destinies into their own hands, and I think that was the starting point of a very new thing in Nigeria, and it resonated with many of us. Many of us who you know, we were almost shouting hallelujah because Nigerians were stepping forward, and for me, that's the starting point. It's such a big thing. It is a major. It is a watershed moment, or was a watershed moment for Nigeria. So that is where I take my bearing from. Where we turned the corner with regard to taking our destinies into our own hands. And I was president of the bar at the time, and I had no hesitation, and I felt no reluctance in identifying closely with that episode and ensuring that I provided all the support that I could as president of the bar, at risk to self, because I was hounded, and I was criticized for even by some who were my colleagues, because they felt I was putting the association at risk. But it was a cause that I did not think anybody would hesitate to support. And so from that time on, I have continued to be of that state of mind. And so you can definitely be certain or assured that were I to emerge as governor of Edo State, you could put your hand to your heart and say that there is an obedient in Government House on Osadebe Avenue. But I must say to you, Stephen, that this thing that we're dealing with is much bigger than us. It's going to turn or change the narrative or change the trajectory of our country. So I even hesitate to circumscribe this to any name or any individual. Not Olu, not Obi. I look to us and I say, let us recognize the moment for what it is. This nonsense must stop. And this nonsense I refer to is the nonsense of how Nigeria is governed to the detriment of her people. It must stop. And it is only this movement of this group of people who can ensure that it stops. And I'm careful to circumscribe it, because I don't want it to, this is not the first time, Stephen. I'm old enough to remember the Ali Must Go movement in 1978. I'm old enough to remember the march against IBB, President Babangida. But some of these movements, if we may call them that, they fell away. They frittered away because there was, how do I put it? It was based on individuals of the time or certain persons at the time. No, this is much larger than that. And so we must understand that we cannot even afford to circumscribe it or even afford to put it in a straitjacket. This is the future of Nigeria we're talking about. And I will spend the rest of my life dedicating the rest of my life to this movement, where we're going to turn around the fortunes of our country. And And even in recent times, I've noticed that there's been, because I understand, sometimes body they tire, body not be wood. Sometimes people get discouraged, but I must use this opportunity to encourage the obedience, to encourage all of us who subscribe to this ideal that nobody promised it to be easy. So when I hear that, some people have given up, some people have crossed over, some people don't port, some people even some don't jackpot. No, nobody promised it to be easy. I am ready to stake my life for this, and I hope we all are. I hope we all are. Brings me to Edo State and the politicking going on in Edo State at the moment, of which I'm part of the dramatics person. You know, and people who are pretenders, people who have no business, who have never identified with this cause, suddenly are infiltrating this space and attempting to now claim that they belong, or that they have always subscribed to this. No, I mean, we should be able to identify this for what it is, crass opportunism. You know what I mean? And we should be able to identify it for what it is. And so we should reject any pretender, reject any sheep in wolf clothing, or wolf in sheep clothing, forgive me. And um, and stay true to our ideals. It not go easy. There will be deprivation, there will be threats, there will be loss of life and limb, but we must stay true to this, because you must learn to plant trees, the shade of which you may not sit under. So this is for our children. This is for future, for generations yet unborn. So sorry for the roundabout answer, but am I obedient? Yes. Do I subscribe to the ideals? Absolutely. And this is going to be what I'm spending the rest of my life doing.
Yes, then the Alex Oti question, very important. Are we going to be a positive competition between the very, very performing star governor we are all so proud of?
Absolutely, Stephen. It was only less than 36 hours ago that I sat down with His Excellency, and I had my notebook with me, and I was just asking him questions, and I wanted to know exactly, exactly how these things are working out in Abia. I am not a stranger to Abia, so I know that the Abia of today is night and day compared to the Abia that I knew before. The Aba of today, exciting things are happening. And so, Uno like better things. So I went to see him to discuss with him and find out exactly, what his template is, because I intend to follow the template, but I intend to outdo that. I intend to, what is the prayer of the father? What is the prayer of the elder? Saying Peking will do better pass him now. So I'm sure His Excellency definitely wants to see us even outdo what he has achieved in Abia. And say, I don't know the carry last. If it too bad, na bracket. But in this case, we're not go brackets. We go pass wetin dem dey do for Abia. We go show them say na dem dey learn work.
Um,
So
Excellency,
when
I
we
have to
get you there,
interject here because your mouth too sweet. Eh? Look, we try.
it is my mouth is sweet. Sorry, make I remove the sugar.
before
I don't remove the
before
sugar.
you go hold on for work for here for long, please. I'm trying to make sure. We have as many questions asked to you today because we have over 100 request lines. People on the we have questions, over 300 questions that are coming at you. So please, I will want you to keep your answer as short as possible. If not, 90 minutes we have extra time. Say if you go football match, play match, you get as match go dey draw, you go enter extra time, play penalty, you go fit there reach 2 o'clock. Oh, I know as it.
I not run, no,
You
Saddam. I
don't
not
run?
run, no.
Aha! More fire
I
they
not
go now.
run, no.
No wahala. We there here with
Uh,
you.
fire down, fire
No
down.
wahala.
What thing I dey do again
Okay,
this night?
okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for the time. Okay, let me pass the mic real quick right now. I'm gonna open the floor with a very dear woman to me. I call my mommy. Mommy Bolale is up here, and I want Mommy Bolale to take the next few minutes to ask you her questions. Mommy Bolale, you have the space. Good evening, mom.
Good evening, everyone from my side. Barrister Olumide, welcome to Violence Space. This is our home where we did great things ethnicity? Because people say because your name is Olumide, eh, that you're a Yoruba man. Can you please clear that up for us?
Is it just me?
No, it's not just you.
No. Pastor Olumide, can you hear us?
Space don't go on. So I believe the space being massively reported. I'm getting so many feelers. People say they can't hear. People get to leave and come back. So just in case the space crashes or something, we will be back again to continue from when we stopped. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there. Children of the roasted corn and children of the burnt mechano generator are doing all they can for this space not to go on. But please, we have bad news for you guys. If this space crash a million times, we'll be back up a million and one time. So please, I spare you guys, stop yourself. Let's listen to this gentleman speak. We're talking to him from the back channel. I don't think he can hear any of us right now. Steve, can you hear me?
Yes, Adam, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm.
I think
So
His Excellency may be back. Can you, Excellency, can you hear us?
I'm not going anywhere. I've been here.
did you hear Mommy Bolanle's question, sir?
No, not at all.
Mommy Bolale, can you ask your question again, please?
Of course. Pastor
No. I'm going to try. I'm going to attempt to change devices.
Okay,
No,
please.
don't change the. Devices. I think
Your Excellency, can you
it will certainly delay. So let me. Yeah.
I can hear her.
Go on.
First question on ethnicity.
Okay, please, you can go on now, please. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. So the matter tire me. I'm at my wit's end sometimes, because when you now have to start proving your Beniness, becomes sometimes it's quite tedious. I am Benin. My father is Benin. My mother of blessed memory was Benin. We are from Oredo local government of Edo State. Now, but my first name is Olumide, a Yoruba name. And my surname, Apata, spell their version of the name Akpata, because in the Benin alphabet, you have what they call expletives. So the expletive P, KP is in my name, but the Yorubas don't spell it with the K. So I belong to a part of Benin, or a group of Benin people who have Yoruba connections, heritage, and everybody knows that with the Benis, there's an inextricable link between the Benis and the Yorubas. Even my royal father, His Royal Majesty Omonoba Nedu Kwakpolopolo Ewari II, at his coronation, even alluded to the fact that there's a connection between the Beninese and the Yorubas. So there are many of us families in Benin who still bear Yoruba names till today. Has nothing to do with our ethnicity. It is just an accident of history. Many of us moved away from Benin at the behest of the kings of the day, went over to Akure, Ijesha, traded there, lived there, married there. And then after the fall of the Benin Empire in 1897, after the British expedition, many of those families, even before that time, not even before, forgive me, not the expedition, after the fall of the empire in the 15th century, the Bini family, some of these families returned home. And so they came with their Yoruba families and Yoruba names. Actually, my surname Apata was a nickname given to one of my ancestors. Apata in Yoruba means somebody who's sturdy, who's well built, like me, actually. So so that is how that name stuck. So, but we are Bini, and luckily I have one of my uncles, Professor Inosakai Apata, wrote a book on our ancestry where it's been clearly stated that the Apata family is a Bini family, and my grandfather was a chief of the palace in 1939. He was the Oba Onye of Benin, and at a time when no non-Benin could ever aspire to be a chief of Benin. My grandfather was a chief in 1939. My father's elder brother was a senator. He represented Bendel Central in the Senate in 1979. He was also the Oba Iwana of Benin. My uncle, Chief Tayo Apata, was of blessed memory, was the Ima of Benin. His name was Omotayo Apata. My uncle, the one I previously referred to, was Oluwafemi Apata. We bear Yoruba names and we bear Benin names. I am Osaibovo. My younger sister is Osarugwe. My cousins are Osato, Osarieme, Abieyua. So it is a known fact. But again, I understand we don't teach history anymore in our schools. Culture, we don't talk about our culture anymore. And so it's very easy for historical facts like this to get lost over time. And so it's a challenge to me. I've taken it upon myself to ensure that this book on my family tree, I'm going to order for a reprint, and I'm going to distribute it in our schools in the state, or at least so that people can read and understand that is how I have an uncle. He just passed. First Bini senior advocate, Kola Okeaine, a pure Bini man. His father's house was on the Dahosa Street in Benin. His son is also a senior advocate now. He is Adeto Kumbo Okeaine. So it's just the way, that's the way it is. And I'm sure there are parallels in other parts of Nigeria. In Onitsha, there are people in Onitsha who I know they're originally from Benue State, I think it is, or Kogi State. There are parts of the country where you find those kind of linkages. So you don't now say that the person is not Bini because he has those kind of linkages. So, Polani, I hope I've been able to answer your question. I'm a Bini man, very proudly so, by the way, I challenge anyone. Maybe I'm very, very confident to ask anyone who has evidence to the contrary to come forward. Thank you.
Yeah, that answered my question, but perhaps you could greet your people in your language.
Salam, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Okay, there was a follow-up. She said that perhaps you could greet your people in your language. That's what she asked as a follow-up.
She asked me to greet my people in my language.
Yes, bro.
Are there Bini people here? Wakoyo, Warimana.
Marema.
Wamata Mavenia.
Marema, Egwatuo.
Wakoyo, Oba Tokwe.
Wakoyo
Wakoyo, Wabuta. Wabi Yegbe, thank you very much for the opportunity. We're here, Wesley.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I don't know what I said,
Thank
but I
you.
hope it entered.
No worry, you're not the cost yourself. No worry, now bless you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Guys, I'm gonna pause this space right now because I see, there have been so much accusations the past couple of weeks that they are paying us 500,000 naira to host space. And people come to this space, 3,500 of you. If I charge people 2,000 now for this space now, if you pass 500,000 naira. But I'm not charging people. The only thing I say people should do to this space is to tweet this space and like this space. People have not retweeted it. You will not hear his voice till I get at least 3,000 retweets. Make we do it like that. What do they do now for this country? Free thing they do. They like free things. Maybe that's why people have to number. Please retweet the space and share the space. I don't know what is happening here. Let's get this space rocking. Retweet the space, share the space, and get more people into the video, please. Take the next few seconds. If not, I will just deal with my guy. We're going to chat for backstage. Make I know how that day. I better he will without. Are people retweeting it at all?
Saddam, while you are waiting for them to retweet it, please, the Facebook link is on the Jumbotron. Please share the Facebook link as well for people to follow on Facebook.
Thank you. Anonymous gang in the building. I don't want to come with a three face. No wahala. We see there for now. Please, our Benin people, request the mic. We're going to be bringing you guys all up and ask your questions with the hashtag Ask Olumide Apata. Only questions asked on the comment sections will be asked here on the platform. And just in case you don't get a chance to speak or asking questions, but we're going to do all our best to make sure we bring everybody up to asking questions. But before that, you must have retweeted the space or liked the space. That is how we do things over here. Thank you very much, and God bless you. All right, before I look at the let's when Nigeria has the retweet number, are we doing well? Can we or do we not our break or make I even play some safe?
I mean, it's not bad, but we can do better. I think.
Let's take a music break. Let's take a music break. Olumide, Apata, Olumide. See us sweet like things and rice. Labour Party, I will never leave your side. I will never ever. I dedicate my time to you, my people. Even if the rough, I know mine. Just together we shall stand. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are still up here tonight. It's the Violence Space one-on-one with Olumide Apata, the LP gubernatorial candidate of Edo State. And he's here live with us. He has been serenading us with his wonderful, I'm not trying to hype you, but I think the intelligence here is top-notch. Edo, you cannot miss something like this. That's just me or doing my own 2 cents. So if you guys, people can see. Thank you very much. I don't know how, are we good to go? Are we good to go? Okay, I think we are good to go. Yes, we are good to go. My Wala record artist, Jimmy has given us a thumbs up, so we are good to go. So, all right, guys, let's keep the space up and running. Let me bring in my sister right now, sweet child. Let me bring you to the atmosphere right now, and let's ask Olumide a question. Sweet child, you have the space in a minute. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for having us, and thank you for having our governor to be here. Before I ask my question, I just want to let His Excellency know that right behind you. You've got supporters, and we will keep ensuring that we fight, defend anything that has to do with Olumide Apata, Labour Party, and the Obedient Movement. So I would like to ask this question. We've been seeing this news going around often, and I would like you to clear the area so it will just be done and dusted. We don't have to revisit it. We don't have to keep saying all that. We just know that we move straight to grassroots. So now Edo State made a firm decision to eradicate godfatherism, right? And we are actually very determined to keep it that way. We don't want to repeat it. We don't want to have anything that has to do with godfatherism. So there are a whole lot of rumors, right, circulating that Obaseki is your godfather. Obaseki is backing your candidacy. Obaseki is the one pushing you. Obaseki is this. Obaseki is that. Could you please help us confirm this accuracy, if it's true or not? Just let us have your response to this. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, did you hear that?
Thank you, sweet child. Yes, I did. Can you hear me?
Perfectly, sir. Go on.
So I still make a first thank him for the very, very heartwarming comments and show of support. I'm really grateful. And I hope that I'm able to justify the confidence so reposed. To your question, I was asked this question on Rise TV a couple of weeks ago, probably a month ago, and I told them, I say, head the big person kind cap, right? So I've heard the rumor is been bandied around over and over again. It's a broken record as far as I'm concerned. Yes, I know. His Excellency Governor Obaseki is a family friend. Benin, most of our families are related one way or the other. So, but the truth is that the Obasekis and the Apatas have a long-standing relationship, right? So we can't deny that. And also, I am an Edo man who has lived in Lagos for over 25 years, just like Godwin Obaseki lived in Lagos before he returned home to be governor. So, of course, our paths have crossed over. He was in the capital markets. I'm a corporate lawyer. So there's no doubt that we don't know ourselves. Now, my senior bros, they don't hide that one. However, now there the matter ends. That is where the matter ends. I am not his stooge. I totally disagree with his style of governance. I think for me, if you ask me, he fall our hands because many of us had hoped that when he went to Benin to be governor, there will be a total change in the narrative, but nothing has changed. I think we're worse off after 7 years of Obaseki. So, and I keep on saying this that it is not how do I put it? I can say this. I can say this from now till tomorrow. Who want believe what they want believe, they go believe them. But the truth of the matter is, we all know who is Obaseki's candidate. So I don't know why we are running away from the truth. That individual has emerged at the primaries of the PDP. I'm in the Labour Party. That individual has been a part of his government for the last 8 years as his chief economic advisor. That individual, before that, those 8 years, was a member of the economic management team of the previous government. That is his choice. So all this one when they talk, say, Olu is his choice, Olu is his, I don't understand. It really, the matter tire me really because I have made it clear to everybody who cares to listen that, it's night and day. I totally distance myself from that government. And I think Edo has been underserved by that government. And Labour Party is here to the rescue because Labour Party is Papa, Mama, and Pekin. We are about the people. We are people-centric. That is not a Obaseki style. That is not the PDP style. So we are here to make a difference. And you know, another thing, and I've had to say this before. I know why this rumor is being bandied about, because people who are banding that rumor about or who are spreading that falsehood know that if you are tagged with that label as an Obaseki stooge, you're dead on arrival because the people are anxious to see the back of the man. They don't want to see. They want him to get out of government house like yesterday. So, and they don't want him to leave any vestige of himself in government house. So anybody who is labeled an Obaseki stooge has no chance in hell to be governor of Edo State. So those who don't want me to emerge as governor have found it very convenient to call me an Obaseki stooge. That is the story. And I asked again on national television a couple of months ago. I said, we must ask ourselves the question: why is it such a problem? If the man had even performed well, many of us would be scrambling to say yes, so now he send us. He has performed so badly. I don't want to have anything to do with his administration or with him because at least because the guy he fall our hand, So I am not his agent. I am not his stooge. I am not representing him. I'm my own man. And as we go on, we will demonstrate this. And we will show the people. And the people are actually discerning. They know. They can tell that this is just a dummy that is being sold to the good people of Edo State. We are here to make a difference. The people matter. We are here to deal with the people's issues, make it front burner, make it priority. Obaseki does not have empathy, doesn't have compassion. Those are key ingredients required in anybody who is in public office. Empathy, compassion. You must be interested in the people. That's where we differ. I feel for the people. That's why I left private sector. I have left my life as a corporate lawyer to come home and make a difference. So, sweet child, please tell anybody who comes up with this conspiracy theory that is bunkum. It's utter rubbish. I not be Obaseki agent. Uh-huh. The person the big pass something. By the way, which message you want to send me? Now the road when you not have, school when you not do, hospital when you not do, now that message you want to send me. I beg, I will leave that matter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sal. I be want tell you say, as you just talk say, now the road where you not do, now the hospital where you abandon, but another one you want to send you. Thank you. Say you help us clear the air. At least people when they go around, they talk say apparently you want to continue with person where they already fail. You want to continue with the governance. And they tell them say na lie. Say the person when we know, the Oludi when we know, he not fit. And thank you say you don't already clear am. And I go like actually also mention say I be better Edo Central lady straight from
Correct.
my mama na Ekpoma, my mama na papa na Ekpoma, east and west. So we know better thing. We know they follow. We know they do say, oh, say na our turn. No, no, no. We don't already see say we not fit continue with freedom. You know our side now. You know say how they take abandon them. And they
Yes,
dey
ma'am.
very very fast to say you not just be ordering Nigerian. You're not going to be ordering barrister, lawyer. You can't be obedient because we know say every obedient now obedient when get conscience. Obedient when get integrity. Obedient when we know say you feel work for the people and you know you are there for the Edo people. And I would say a very thing. I don't really even congratulate you now.
So
Congratulations. You're
I collect
excellent.
them. I receive
I
them. I collect them.
I believe you. I believe you. Thank you very much. And we look forward to working with you. Like I said earlier, we will not take this lightly. We will ensure that LP takes it and we'll ensure that Oludi becomes the governor of Edo State. Thank you. I yield.
I appreciate Saddam. If you just give me 1 second to respond, not
Go on,
vex,
sir. Go on.
I thank you very much, and you are spot on. You see, number one, whoever is this matter a referendum, this election when we dey talk when they come so, who want make Obaseki continue, make it vote for PDP candidate. Who want make Obaseki go house, carry a load, everything come out Bini, vote for Labour Party. It was in a night and day, total difference. I happy say you mentioned Edo Central, but yeah, see, I went around Edo State 3 times, and Edo Central too 3 times, and what I have seen, it just convinced me say I made the right decision to run for office. This matter, I not be here. When I start my campaigning again after Easter, I will go with my video camera. I am going to do vlogs. Make una see as matter bad reach for Edo State. Make una see as this matter reach for Edo State. I recently renovated a school in Ewato, in Edo Central. If you remember that school, now the school when children they lie down for top their belly, they they take notes for class.
Remember,
Yeah, I got to go there now. As nobody agree do, I go there, go do it now. If they like me, they talk saying politics, not concern me. I go do them because we don't know whether president will come up for that school, whether governor will come up for that school. So I go do them because they don't care about our people. So all those talk of monkey, a leopard cannot change his spots. Obasaki day where he did, me I day where I did. I thank you, sweet child, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, Switcher, for that wonderful convo and question. All right, let's keep the conversation rolling, guys. Let me check. Me, I go there. I'm going to be holding this thing. You see, they say you people are a product. Your leaders are a product of the people. Una go dey shout, dollar is high, oh, things are hard, oh. Una hand self hard. Like you people on this space, you people are the problem. You people are the Binance that's making Naira go high. I don't feel just retreat space. I don't feel just share space.
So I'm
But
I suspect.
eh?
If like say this way that they talk now, you like say about do many pass obedience.
Children of the roasted corn. You don't call them what they are. Children of the roasted corn. And children of the burnt Meccano generator. Please retweet the space and share the space. So are you people not gaining knowledge? Are you not getting knowledge? What people don't hear, we're not licking microphone here. We are speaking to facts. No licking microphone like ice cream. All right, let's keep the conversation rolling. You know they laugh. JJ, are you ready to come in right now? If not, I'm going to pass the mic over back to Steven. Sorry, back to Steven, then I'll come to Pills. Well, Nigeria, if you have a question, you can always come in with your question. JJ, if you're not ready, are you ready, please?
I'm ready. I'm here.
Okay, JJ, you have the space. Please, in a minute, ask your question.
Yeah. Leader, don't sir. Saddam, thank you very much. Stephen, I agree with the house. I want to quickly ask, so how do you intend to combat the menace caused by cultism in Edo State when you become the governor? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Joshua. Thank you so much. This one, this is a question that is so important. For me, I am going to attack that problem frontally, and the first thing to do is just create outlets for our young people. It's a question that speaks to the issue of our youth in Edo State, and the fact that there's a total, almost near total failure of government to provide opportunities for the youth. Now, I went to the University of Benin. I graduated in 1992. So I'm not unfamiliar with cultism. But when I go school, when people do cult finish, as they graduate for the cult, they go face life. But what we find today is that these young people take cultism, carry and enter town, they turn themselves into contractors to these horrible politicians who have weaponized this thing and then use them as agents for their dastardly enterprise. And every election cycle, these young kids offer themselves and they are used by people when they will use their children for that kind of thing. All their children, they London. They use them for that kind of stuff. So for me, we are going to create opportunities. Firstly, because cultism has even gone to our secondary schools. It's not just in universities. So, firstly, we must create outlets for vocational education, more opportunities for the young people to gain employment. Look at the entertainment sector. There's a whole value chain there that the state can invest in so that we have job opportunities for the young people. Who go join cult when they get work? Who go join cult when they get work? He can put food on the table. Who go join cult when he fit take care of his family? You understand what I mean? So it's a double whammy. It's a double tragedy, really, because number one, you don't give them opportunity. Then number two, you now go and introduce them or use them for this all sorts of perfidious activities. So it's a tragedy in more ways than one. And so for me, as a matter of deliberate and intentional policy, we must first and foremost zero tolerance for this cultism. It not go work. If when we did government house, Labour Party, it not go work. So we go call them. We know they are young people. We know they call us. Say, "Una go leave this thing. Una go leave this thing," and we will tell them, and then they hear what. But we will also add to that options and alternatives. We'll put also options and alternatives on the table. So not be say you just come say come on this thing, and you don't give them opportunity options. So job creation, opportunities for vocational education, opening the space in other sectors where I use the entertainment industry as an example again. The value chain, even if it's just getting people to learn how to work in the concert, the music concert sector. There's so much opportunity there. Sound engineers, those who help with even creating the stage, the set design, and all of those things. There's so much going on in all of these sectors, so that I think we can create opportunities for ventilation, outlets for these young people to express themselves in a multifaceted ways. But because our politicians and those who are in power in the other parties are self-serving, so they keep these guys because they don't say they're going to need them for front. Labour Party, we don't need cultists. The people are with Labour. We don't need any cultists to enforce anything. And we will not indulge in that kind of brigandage. So I will attack it frontally. I am not a stranger to the issue. I know people who are involved in this kind of shenanigans, and we're going to call them and tell them that the game is up. We're not going to agree. It just will not happen under my watch. But like I said, opportunities and alternatives will be provided so that this is not a zero. So it's not a case of at all. You know what I mean? Because as we say, at all, and bad pass. So we must ensure that you give them alternatives, so that there is an incentive to do away with this kind of behavior, this very antisocial, this very I don't even know. I am at a loss for words to describe the menace that is cultism in Edo State today. Thank you, Joshua.
All right, thank you very much, Joshua. Thank you very much, guys. We are still up here. It's Violence Peace, one-on-one with Olumide Apata. First half has just finished. We'll be going to the second half of the space. Please, as we always say, retweet the space, share the space. Let's get more people into the conversation. And sir, I want to remind you something on this platform. This is a recorded space. You're being listened to by thousands of people across different platforms, and your words will be held before you someday. You've said some things here that I will come back here on this platform because give me shishi. When you enter there and you do anyhow, now me go see they here drag you. I'm saying this now to your face and to the thousands of people listening to you here right now. You said you'll be coming back on Violence Space. Maybe when you go enter there, when I call you say, I am too busy. We will remind you. You said it yes, sir.
I don't run, no, bros.
No,
I don't run. May God keep all of us, give us long life. So, because as you see me, I don't put water for mouth when I talk. I don't pull my punches. So as I talk, I say
no,
and you can hold me to
my word. Thank you very much. I will hold you to your words when the time comes. Let's keep the conversation rolling. Let me bring in right now. I'm going to take my co-host again. One more question each. Then I will bring the. We will prioritizing with his people that are going to vote. So whatever divide you're on, because I know there's a big elephant in the room, and probably if none of them ask that question, I'm going to ask the question myself. Do light on this platform. Please request the mic. You will have a chance to ask questions here. It is not a one-sided. No. You don't give me one kobo. I just want every Adolite to have a chance to speak to this man because I think he's man enough to answer your questions. So please, guys, bring it on. Let me pass the mic right now to Sarah. Are you ready to ask your question, or do I go back to Pearls or Mr. Stevens? Sarah, are you there? All these Nigerian people on a network. That's MTN also run away. MTN don't run. Just every company they run from Nigeria now, like say, right? They say they'll be Olympics. So let me talk to people that are Steven, Nigeria, USA. I can trust your network.
Nigeria, when His Excellency comes, he will work with the federal government to fix data internet infrastructure in Nigeria. It's a crime actually not to have good internet service in 2024. That's not my question. Your Excellency, thank you so much. I've been grinning from ear to ear. You are really a very, very passionable and a likable person. Your ideas are spot on, and I want to quickly rush to my question before Saddam ring bell. My question is, Your Excellency, Edo State has the highest number of citizens based in diaspora. Don't quote me on I don't have the numbers, but naturally now we many pass for the diaspora based on our number compared to other states in Nigeria. It is rumored that every house in Edo has a family in Europe or North America. How do you intend to engage this vital demography to ensure they buy into your agenda and support your campaign and also return home to invest in the modern Edo you are envisioning?
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. Um, yeah, I don't have the numbers too, but you are not too far off the mark. It is a huge number of our people who are in the diaspora, and it is a major resource that has, however, to my mind and in my view, has remained untapped in ways that would be optimal. I think it's quite disappointing because, like I said, it's a huge resource. We know how many of our people are out there passionate about home. Diaspora remittances to Edo State, I mean, is phenomenal, and I don't think it's equaled in any other part of the country. Again, like you, I'm not going to bandy number. I'm not going to say hold me to these numbers, but this is the feedback we get. So the question is, why are we not utilizing this group of people optimally or effectively? And so I definitely intend to use them because it is in my enlightened self-interest to do so. Uh, I mentioned the school. I renovated a block of classrooms in the school in Ewato, in Edo State, and I tell you what, the school authorities were afraid to engage with me because there just seems to be an unwritten rule that people who want to help out in that manner are not exactly welcome. And I've engaged with the diasporans, some of them, and they have told me that they're always, whenever they try to engage or they try to work with government, they are met with red tape, bureaucracy, and of course, a lack of transparency. So they are discouraged, and they just keep their monies to themselves or try and intervene directly. But the result of this direct intervention is that it's haphazard, it is not organized, so you don't get the kind of value you want from that kind of intervention. So for me, it's not rocket science at all. It's a no-brainer. We know where our people are in the Americas, in Europe. We will engage with them. We will set up a PPP office, or at least a department in the PPP office for this purpose. There are people who travel to the Netherlands from Udo, from EC, forgive me, from Igobazua. There are people who traveled from Abudu and who are passionate about their home, who want to come back to a better society and are ready to contribute to that. So there must be a way to harness that resource, and so for me, I intend to engage with them. It's just all about inclusion. Let them know that you consider them to be important. Let them know that you value their contributions, and don't talk down on anybody. Nobody has a monopoly over all ideas, or nobody's a repository of all wisdom. You must take in taking their own counsel, their own contribution. So I recognize this resource for what it is a potential, how do I put it? It will actually transform Edo State if we're able to engage with our diasporans. And not just about money, Stephen, it's not just about money. We have very skilled Edolites in the diaspora, very skilled Edolites. And we need those skill sets to come and help us leapfrog our economy. So not just about bringing their money, but we want to bring back their skill sets. We want to bring them back home to help us grow areas of the economy. I was talking to Switchout just now about rerouting or redirecting our youth. I believe it was Switchout. And one area that we need help from our diaspora is sports development. I cry every time. I've been to Afuze 3 times now. And I look at the sports institute that was set up by our father, Brigadier General Samuel Ugbemudia, and the place has gone to, I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a mess. I was speaking with the former Minister of Education just yesterday, and he said to me that that is something that sorry, former Minister of Sports, Sunday Dare, and he was just telling me that we must revive the Afuze Institute, and we need help from our diasporas to do this. We need private sector participation, because once we can get sports going again in Edo State, once we can start to tap that, start to catch them young, and harness the talents of our young people. Once you can train them in athletics, in football, in basketball, in all of those sports, you will see a drop in criminality and all this cultism. That is one outlet that is attractive to the young people. But we need the help of our diaspora. So I always scratch my head in amazement when I see all of these opportunities available, and our governments are doing nothing. Our government is doing nothing or near nothing about it. That will change under our watch when Labour Party gets into Osadebe Avenue. Thank you, Stephen.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's no vex. So we're gonna allow every other person come up and ask questions, but let's take Edolites first. It is their home. This is an aspirant that is going to govern them, and they need to ask him questions. So we that are outsiders, please calm down. I see we have over 100 and plus of you guys requesting for the mic. Please, we're going to take Edolites first before bringing another person. Give the time, extra time. We'll bring other people. Thank you very much. All right, let's go on real quick right now. I think Pels, you have a last question for him, or Pels, please go on with your last question, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Sardan. So my last question is, Your Excellency, I am a nursing practitioner and also a PhD student, and my research is in a health-related topic. So I'm very much interested in knowing what your plans are for the health sector in Edo. And I also like to know what your views are on healthcare insurance, and how do you intend to implement these views? Thank you. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you. Thank you very much. Healthcare and healthcare. What are our plans for the healthcare sector? Great question. Thank you for the opportunity. You may not know, I'm the child of a doctor. My father is a doctor. He's 84 this year. He's 84, but I grew up in the house of a doctor. So healthcare is a human right. Healthcare is a human right, and I'm glad you're a healthcare professional. And so maybe as we have this conversation, you might tell me whether I'm being naive or not. But the first thing that bothers me is the fact that our primary healthcare, we just pay lip service to the issue of primary healthcare, the primary healthcare system, where you're supposed to have primary healthcare centers. I understand it to be the hub and spoke model. These primary healthcare centers feed the tertiary institutions. There's no reason why Mama Osayande would have to take little Osayande to Central Hospital or to UBTH in Ugbo just because he has a migraine or something. And each government, each aspirant or each candidate comes and tells us how they will do so much in the healthcare sector, in the health sector they will set up primary healthcare centers, and I'm just amazed that it just never happens. They don't exist. Where they exist, there's no personnel, there's no equipment, there's no medication, and this is something that is for the people. So in England, we know the NHS has been there for what, since 1948 or thereabout, and it keeps on going. It has its stresses, it has its strains, but it keeps on going. We do not even bother. So I mean, healthcare, as far as I'm concerned in Nigeria, and I ask my medical doctor friends to forgive me, it just doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. At least not at the level of where you find the bulk of the people. They do, and again, I repeat, it's a human right. But so what do I plan to do in Edo State? We will deal with it from at that basic level. Primary healthcare issues must be dealt with. We must adopt the should I call it the Zenith Bank model? You will find a primary healthcare system as a center at every turn. I mean, nobody need to walk more than 5 minutes to get to somewhere where they can receive medical attention. I mean, that's the gold standard. So we will address that firstly, and then also again, this is why I referred to our Edo diasporans. I don't know if you've been to Charlotte in North Carolina, and you see all our doctors who are there, and we have so many of our people who in the medical space who can come and help lift us out of the doldrums. And for me, we will need to ensure that while we deal with the primary healthcare centers, we address the issues of our tertiary institutions. And it's all about priority. It's all about will. If you want to do it, you will do it. And so, and this is a perfect point to segue into your second question, which is about insurance, because insurance, insurance how do I put it? Is a condition precedent for for healthcare delivery in any jurisdiction, because you need good healthcare, and good healthcare costs money. So the insurance, I mean, I have been on Bupa in the United Kingdom now for what 21 years. I'm also insured here in Nigeria. There is no way you can access healthcare if there's no proper insurance system. We have private insurance here in Nigeria, but not accessible to most of the populace. So when I was president of the Nigerian Bar Association, one of the first things I did was to give free cover to our lawyers, about 1,000 plus lawyers who we enrolled into the NHI, what was then the NHIS, but now the NHIA in Nigeria, to make sure that lawyers across board get a cover. And the system, with all these stops and starts, at least it worked, but it's something that must be built upon. Delta State, our sister state, have already, I mean, Dr. Okowa, the immediate past governor, is a medical doctor, so I guess he understood it. So they've already put in place a health insurance system in Delta State. So you can be certain that one of the first things I would do as governor of Edo State is to put a health. And I know the people who did it in Delta. I know those who I have so many contacts in the medical space. And I will. That's one of the first things we will do. Health insurance first, so that people can, civil servants, market women, can access healthcare, and then we will put the infrastructure in place, primary healthcare centers, and then the tertiary institutions. So for me, it's not rocket science. It's the absence of will, absence of political will, or it's just, again, like I said, this government is lacking in compassion and lacking in empathy. That's why this issue is not a front burner issue to them. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I hope that was well answered. Before I come, okay, Steve, let me come to you, and I'll take some questions from the comment section before I start bringing up our questions from the request here. So please, Steve, you have asked the second question, right?
Yes, I have. I think Sarah wanted to get Sarah to ask. I have asked my question.
Okay, I'm here. I'm
All
here
right,
now.
Sarah, go ahead.
Hi.
Are you on top of a
Hi,
tree?
Presido. What's that? Saddam, what
Are
did you
you
say?
standing on top of a tree? Because the last time your network was shaking like somebody's hand. But please ask your question.
I went to stand on my village tree. On the village that's our wall. We won Benin. We won the wall. That's the tree that I'm currently standing on. So can I go ahead, guys?
If you are down from the tree, go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, so I have a series of questions, yeah, but let me just start with one.
No, sorry, please, just one, please.
No, I will start
No,
with
you
one
ask
and
just
then
one, please. You have other people to ask question, and just one. So choose
yes,
your
I
most
can ask,
important
and but
question,
I'll
please.
no. Okay, let me ask one first. Okay, His Excellency, welcome to our worldwide space, and once again, congratulations. I actually wanted to ask you because currently the debt level of Edo State is ridiculously high. Statistically, there is unconfirmed debt level as of 2024 to be over 400 billion, but the one that is actually confirmed is about around 2022, which is around 223 billion. So, with the whole issue that is currently happening with Edo State right now, because the current government hasn't practically done anything as regards infrastructure, especially towards one of the greatest pinpoints of Edo State, which is agriculture and the agro-allied industries. So the infrastructure development, especially on road, water supply, and as well as this agro-allied industries, what are you going to do about the debt level? Are you going to say, or are you going to try to reduce that debt before you go into infrastructure? Or we are just going to go straight into infrastructure and not worry about that debt level? Because if we are looking at it in a way of ensuring that the state actually makes enough IJR, would you want to jump into the infrastructure and work on it? Because that's not what this current government is doing. This current government is
Sarah,
saying,
please, let's try and keep the question as short as possible, please.
oh, sorry, this current government is saying that the debt level is so high, and also that most of these projects is supposed to be done by the federal because they don't have money for it. So, are you going to go to? Are you going to see how you can reduce the debt level and not work on so many projects, or you're just going to say, okay, well, let's do the project first and then see what happens? So that's my question. That's my first question.
Thank you, Sarah. It's a long question, but we will get there. Debt level. Okay, so let me even shock you and let me probably depress you a bit. Yes, 2022, 223 billion. But the figures that I have at my disposal, and these are DMO, these are my sources my source is the DMO Debt Management Office. Edo is owing well over 500 billion at the moment, right? This is the information I have. I stand to be corrected. But I tell you what, I have no problem with debt. All I say is that a responsible borrower must pay his or her debt as and when due. But debt is a fact of life, fact of commerce, fact of development. So I have no problem with debt. But the problem is, what do you borrow for? What do you use? You borrow money. Borrowing is not a crime. What is a crime is to borrow and not use the money for the purpose for which you took it or to divert it to other sources. I mean, if you borrow, you must prioritize the people because it is the same people or their children who will repay these loans. So it must be people-centric, people-focused projects that you borrow for. So yeah, so the government of the day borrowed money and built a modular refinery, but they forgot that the modular refinery will need a feedstock. So their plan was to truck the feedstock from that, which the feedstock being crude, and truck it to where the modular refinery is located. Borrowed to build it, oh, and unfortunately, they forgot that there's no road, which speaks to your question of the infrastructure. And so you have a project, White Elephant, as far as I'm concerned, for which you borrowed, and you are paying phenomenal interest in return. So it is. My question is, what do you borrow for, right? And so there's a huge infrastructure deficit in Edo State, and so I mean, I really can't see on ground. There is a disconnect between the figures that are being bandied around as the money is owed by Edo. There's a and then what we see on ground is shocking because if you borrowed so much, what did you use the money for? And it states that last time I checked, your combined income is somewhere in the 16 billion naira range per month. So you are doing 16 billion per month, which is in any currency is a chunk of change, right? So you are doing that kind of income, you are borrowing, and I can't see the results on ground. So I go around Benin, the state capital, the roads are bad. It's about to start, the rains are here, are upon us again, and all our people have their hearts in their mouths because just one day of rainfall, and you will find that the flooding will blow your mind. So we have drainage issues. So I will focus on debt repayment, yes. But please understand that I will not lose sleep over borrowing if we need to borrow. The question is when we borrow, we must borrow and put it into sectors that can get returns so we can pay down whatever it is we borrow. You mentioned agriculture. I will borrow for agriculture. I will definitely borrow for agriculture because of the multiplier effect it will have on the economy. So that is an area that I'm so passionate about because not only will you through agriculture you can feed your people, which is the very first thing. Coincidentally, I was listening to Dr. Additional, the president of the African Development Bank today on television. Same point he was making. You feed the people. First thing you must feed your people. So if we invest in agriculture, we can feed the people and not just farming. It is the entire value chain. So you're talking about investing in storage facilities, but more importantly, you must encourage the sector because government must be a ready off-taker of produce. So government must organize itself in such a way, maybe with private sector partners, so that you can off-take, so that the farmer is guaranteed off-take, so that he is able to go back and plow plow the land again and plant again. You must also invest in irrigation technology so that we can get better yields. Or beyond irrigation technology, you must also work with our research institute so that we are getting better yields, and we're also ensuring that the farmers are doing a quick turnaround. And you are encouraging, or you are enabling all year-round production in our farms. But beyond that, you recognize that the agricultural sector can easily be one of the largest employers of labor. So the youth that we're talking about previously can get employed. So it's the whole value chain. You know that there's also the possibility of setting up industries, agro-allied industries that are value adding, so that we're not just dealing with farm produce. We add value to those produce, and we do tomato paste, we do orange juice or whatever, and then you can sell them. There's so much that can be done in the sector for which we can borrow for, and in good time we'll be able to pay off those loans, and then at the same time you have improved the economy of the farmer. You have helped to generate jobs, and last but not the least, you are feeding your own people. So for me, it's a no-brainer. But I guess common sense is not common. So these people who are controlling the levers of government today, their priorities are I don't know. The priorities are somewhere else. So that's where we are. Yeah, and water supply, and it applies to all other sectors. I drive around Edo State. I mean, there are no roads. I mean, forget it. There are no roads. And then I see a sign where the state government says, "Forgive us, this is a federal road." I mean, what a sorry excuse. You know what I mean? This is a federal road. You never told any of the electorate when you came to ask for their votes that there's a distinction between federal and state roads. Sorry excuse. There are many other states that I know that the state governments are tackling federal roads and getting refunds. So, Sarah, borrowing is not the problem. The problem is what do you do with the loans that you get. And then, of course, you must be responsible enough to pay back your loans. So you must make sure that you put those loans into projects that are not only impacting the people, but can derive value. And so you can pay your loans. I hope I've been able to answer your question.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Sir, please, I just want to ask the question. You just said something, and I want to. Are you really certain? You say there are signboards saying sorry in Edo State. Sorry, this is a federal road. Forgive us. Is that real or you just brought that out of somewhere, please?
So that mistake you never reach this side, though. Not be one, not be two. Not be one, not be two. Say, please bear with us. This is a federal road. Not be one, not be two, not be three.
Right now, we'll have to bring in some Edo people to confirm what this is.
No, I go take the pictures then and give you. No worry.
Okay, I would love to see that, sir. All right, let's give it a conversation flowing. Goodness me. Osaro, can you hear me, please? Confirm. Osaro, can you hear me? Ah, Osaro, how the four Edo handle? Ah.
Osaro, can you hear Saddam?
Me?
Okay. Let me take your Epa.
Epa,
Good evening, sir.
Saddam. I greet you, Gedegbe.
Gedegbe, sir. You too, sir. Good evening, sir. You have the space in 1 minute, please.
Thank you. Steve, Sister PS, Ude Mwanta Afuwayagbele. For the record, Olumide Sagbovo Apata Ogato, Enunyo Boy Ogaswo, but
He said,
our neck door Yagmoyawe, I will not let do. Afuwayagbele.
Don't know.
Aye.
We don't want to.
No bageli more way. I guess that Otani we are really near to get with them no. The Maniburu Vie, Miami Dole Agwan. This is it that I want to ask the question now for those that are not speaking and not Benin, but you are from Edo State. Please, very sorry for taking that time for guys little things in Benin. It was just pleasantries and greetings. And those that are outside the states, the Lord bless you all. My only one question on is very clear. Now, as a contestant under Labour Party, and you're among these three now, the only thing when I get now is on that very day, because we could see, say, we know the year of APC for Edo State now, and I'm meeting the day. So, on that very day of election, we don't want what we see for Lagos, what we see for Rivers, make 0.5% of it happen for obedient and Labour Party people for Edo State. We not go grey lie. So I beg may you tell us how that day, not tell everything finish, leave the security. How that day, what will be the hope and this one you get for everybody when they go free. Don't be say as they go with confidence. Now only that one I get to ask you for now. Take care, sir.
Oteme, we're still at Orama. And we are here to all your people out. Greet them for me. And I thank you for the question. I would have loved to continue in Bini, but as you have noted, in the Bini language, but as you have noted, we have a wider audience. So make I break it down so that they can understand. I thank you for your question. A real and a very important question. You know, they say 2024, no agree for anybody. But when they talk, I just said to myself, I say, well, me never agree before one day. So whether at 2024 or 2025, I don't agree for anybody. And I belong to the Shangri generation. I cannot agree. So I have been able to demonstrate this matter. You are referring to the process. First and foremost, Labour Party, the people are with us. So that one are the first part of the equation. The people are with us. So we will just secure that one first. We will not take the people for granted. We will continue to sell our message to them. Say, see as we be, see as we be. We are about you. Now make us come out. Even as aspirants, even as aspirant, I have demonstrated to Labour Party in those states, say now because of the people, now I come out. Other people, they carry their money, go serve different juju for the party. No. Me, I carry anything when I get, I go and give to the people. Even if na Christmas hamper, the last man must get his own. If they don't get another, come out there. So you have to secure that, the support of the people. Demonstrate to them that you are for them, you are about them. And the people, they know, they get sense. They are discerning. And so they know who they for them and who not they for them. That's now why, if you follow our primaries, now be film trick. I scored 316 out of the available 343 delegate votes. Not be film trick. Now, simply because the people don't say, this one, now our own, he is here for us. Our matter, now matter. So that are the people. Then, but the one thing when the people ask me for inside Labour Party primary, they say, we go support you, but you go protect our vote. I tell them, I say, leave that matter. Leave that one for me. You get how now? Sure. You get how they do one. You go close mark the process. Who want do bad thing before? By the time you see you are not go do bad thing. We go close mark the process, and that is what we did in the Labour Party primaries. The will of the people prevailed. As they choose delegate for field, now those that same delegate 9 day the list will come out. Of course, the other people they try. People will not want better for Nigeria. Bad head people they try. They want to try bring others. We block them. They're not fit. As you talk, we're not going to talk the way when we go. I became president of the Nigeria Bar Association in 2020. We're not agree for that too. Block them. But you know what? Not be only I say we. What I talk, we, not be only me. The voters in those states, everybody get to shine their eye too. Because this matter, Barack Obama said democracy will flourish if we fight for it. We now go agree. And I've demonstrated it twice already. And for the election when they come, and so it will be. Oh yes, there are many stakeholder engagements that need to be done. You talk security just now. Oh yeah, that one a part of the matter. Nobody go come say, and so they snatch one ballot box. Whose side? They mad. No, it not go work. So ultimately, that's the much I can say here. But I give you my assurance. I don't show my part one. My part two not go different like that. It will even be an improved version. So that much you can take it to the bank that the will of the people must prevail. We not come here, come look at a bridge. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So, you know, when people were exchanging pleasantries, there was a word that caught my attention. Another inside. I don't know what people were saying, no, but I know you meant well for all of us, right?
Sorry, Saddam, you say what you do?
Yeah, no, when people were exchanging pleasantries with my EPA, you put Evian. So I said, I hope it is well for us here, right?
You are
okay.
safe. You are
okay,
safe.
Sir. Let's go with the conversation. Osaro, are you there?
I did, yeah. I gallant. Sit down. Finally.
Finally, 1 minute to 1 minute before your people go do the thing. Hurry up.
Sada, no worry. Inside that your Evian, another Evian dey inside. Para de body. When I greet Okpioba, Olumide, Osagbovu, Apata, Domosa, Egwatuo. You know, say this one.
Sarokoyo.
What Baba? What off Wegbe? One love Baba. What why is it? Toyo. Domo. The thing be say.
Tourist.
Tourist, utane Baba, utane off Wegbe Baba.
The Aragbera on the authority. You are tough for that. Authority.
Ugbe. So the thing is,
Saddam, time or sorrow, we no go come out here. Time or sorrow, we no go come out here.
my time day, Jimmy.
Toya, 30 seconds. Toya for you here.
Worry. Epa, My own question, not be I can't ask. Now I do people question. They don't fool my DM. They say, hey, pa, who be your running mate? Where your running mate for the come? Domo. What?
Where's your tenant? But that question, you see, na party we dey na, not be only me na. This kind of matter na, you know, say na putu matter. Everybody they join hand this side. So, all na political calculation. So we dey look am, and I will discuss closely with even though na me the person want run follow. But this kind of matter, you know, say be like when you want to go marry wife. Now family they marry wife now, not be just one person they do marriage. So all of us go sit down, look the matter, and then we go analyze that. Anybody who is deputy governor candidate must bring value to the ticket. He must get electoral value, and also you're not supposed to cobalize the ticket because we don't want to go find person where we call now. Come gun body join us. Then before we know now, any person when they carry, any when they carry, will come cover us. You know, as it happened for Bayelsa one time like that. So we don't want that kind of thing. So anybody who be deputy governor there must be proper due diligence, and then so political calculation they inside, due diligence they inside, and you want to make sure that you tick as many boxes as possible. You know, say you get many people for our state where see the cry say, the thing never reach us, so blah 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 blah. So there are all sorts. Will take a decision that will be in the best interest of the party and of Edo State.
All right, thank you very much. Let me just take some questions from the comment section real quick. Okaka Odumodu says, ask Olamide Apata, did you give $1,000 to each delegates?
My name now Olumide. You sure say me they ask that question?
Yes, sir. Now you. Now, say make I ask you. So I go ask you. Please answer, sir.
Absolutely not. You know how many delegates we get? 384. You carry 1,000. They dash there. No, nothing of the sort. What I know say I do, and I've already mentioned it here. When I entered the party, I supported our candidates when they run for local government election because nobody they help them. Now I give them small, we they call it Yobo for Benin. I give them small Yobo. I bought cars for all of our Labour Party secretariats in the state, 18 secretariats. I buy motor for the state secretariat yourself. That one not run, I do one. I bought 26,000 chairs, plastic chairs. I buy 26,000 share give. Because if you want to do party, say you want to do political party, there are certain things that must be in place. I reach there and not see those things. I say, well, now here I do. I not go anywhere. I don't pack my loan. I not practice law anymore. So I'm here. So I'm ready to invest my time, my treasure, my talent into this matter. As a true party man, I contribute. I give them a chair. So every local government secretariat plus state secretariat plus ward, all of them, I'm on top of my chair, they sit down. Because Labour Party, we mean business. We not come here, come play. So I know say I do that one. Christmas last year, I carry over 3,000 hampers, share give our members. So if not that one, yes. And that's now why they support me, because I have shown that I am here to build the party. $1,000 not be beans, so I don't know.
Please, guys, if you have asked a question, I don't have to bring you down. Jimmy, your hands were I saw your hands up, but let me ask a question. Contracts. Can you pledge to keep nepotism far from your government if you're elected? What are your thoughts on nepotism?
Nepotism is the bane of our country now, at least one of the many. You know, I believe in merit. So I can commit to you here that it's not Olu and Sons Nigeria Limited, now with the enter. It is government based on merit. again, I borrowed a page from Dr. Alex Oti. He told us when we were with him recently that all permanent secretary do exam before. That's all directors when they want to promote to permanent secretary, they do exam. So much so, say one Edo man when they stay Abia, he pass. Now he get the highest score. Give up sec. Now Edo man, that's merit. Edo man, the gentleman has been in Abia from his youth service days to now. Testimony, and the guy has become a permanent secretary in Abia State. No, I can't do nepotism because at the end of the day, you suffer. You suffer for the consequences. So you go and put a square peg in a round hole because say na your brother or na your sister picking. No. Instead, I go to find my money they give every month. Say carry go chop. If not that one they find. Not to come and say, oh, come and sit down here because you are my brother. Come and take a position that you are not qualified for. You are not competent to administer. No, it's not gonna work. So you see, my generation, Saddam, my generation, we are a tribe. It's meritocracy. We're a tribe of meritocrats. If you are not supposed to be there, not go there. You have no business being there, not go there. They're not the manage for the matter. Because what outcomes do you expect from that kind of situation when you put the wrong man on the job? At the end of the day, now we go suffer for them now because we will be the victims or we will be at the receiving end of the faulty decisions or the person. You know, they make wrong decisions. Now we go suffer at the end of the day. So it's in our enlightened self-interest not to. So I promise you that merit will be the order of the day. You know, competence will be the order of the day in any government that I run. And I've demonstrated it in everywhere I've been. In my law firm, at the NBA, and now by the grace of God, when we get to this government house.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think let me just have a follow-up question. Then I'll circle down to you, Jimmy. Wake up. A Woken Niger youth says, ask Olumide Apata, you say you are our guy. I am sure you are aware of the current zoning conversations online attempting to shake the obedient movement. How will you ensure that governance will be for all Edolites with no zone excluded?
Thank you. I missed the name of the gentleman, but
Wake up.
Wake up. Okay, I bet you help me thank him. Thank you for the question. Yes, it's a big elephant in the room. I will be playing the ostrich if I say I don't know about the conversation concerning zoning. So I will run an inclusive government if I emerge as governor of Edo State. That's the first thing. Inclusive government. I don't know tribe. I don't know tribe, and again, I belong to that generation that I don't know tribe. Edo is one, Nigeria is one. I don't know tribe, so you can be sure that I will run an all-inclusive government. And even as an aspirant, I've demonstrated. When I told you just now, say I buy motor for Labour Party secretariats, and all say okay, buy for only Edo South because now they're my people. I across board. Anything I do is across board. Whatever resources we have will be distributed evenly across board, and whatever positions there are in government, it will ensure that all zones are represented in the distribution of offices and positions and all of that. Having said that, I will speak to the issue of zoning, because I followed the conversation online and all of that conversations online, and I know that many are not quite happy about the outcomes in the Edo State, particularly in Labour Party. However, I just say that the party decided to throw open the issue of who will be its candidate, to throw it open to all parts of the state, because this is our first real outing with regard to governorship of Edo State. And the decision was taken that we will not circumscribe ourselves to any particular zone. And so it was thrown open, let the best man win. Because we just they come, as Yoruba say, we just show And if we now decide, say, okay, we will zone the thing to one side only, we may lose out. We may deprive ourselves of the opportunity of bringing a star performer. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we might win the battle, but lose the war, as it were. So I understand the decision of the party. So at the end of the day, many of us ran. Edo Central ran, Edo North, and Edo South. And the people decided, the members of the party decided that I was the best candidate for this particular election. So, that haven't happened. We are now at a stage where we will go for the elections, and then when we go for the elections, Labour Party will now come out with its own pronouncements regarding zoning going forward, because you cannot be on the outside and talk zoning when you never enter. So that was the thinking of the party, and I don't quarrel with it. I see merit in that argument. Having said that, I recognize that there are certain imbalances in Edo State that must be addressed, and I assure you that Labour Party will address the imbalances. Unlike the other parties who pay lip service to the issue of zoning and make it a convenient conversation only when elections are around the corner. As the election finish now, come Saddam, come Edo, you go see everybody not go talk zoning again. And indeed, has there ever really been zoning in all of these parties? Because really, you know what I mean? They pay lip service to the issue. There are many imbalances that must be addressed. Not just only in one zone. You know, Akoko Edo is one of the oldest local governments in Nigeria. Has remained the same one local government since 1963. Akoko Edo. The Onwa people have complained also of marginalization. Edo Central have also complained. The Asian people, the Asian people. So Labour Party intends to come and address all of these issues when we are in government. We cannot do anything about it from the outside. So, which is why I can assure you that a Labour Party government will be inclusive, will be accommodating, will take into consideration the yearnings and aspirations of all parts of the state. And then, but more importantly, Saddam, if you let me conclude on this point, Labour Party will also demonstrate governance at a level where people will understand that you don't need your brother to be in government house for you to receive dividends of democracy or benefits of governance. What we have is that because of the way some of our devious politicians, not all of them, have the way they perform, they now make the people yearn for their own person to be in government so that it will be our turn. However, Labour Party is not going to run government like that. Whatever is available will be spread evenly. Each man not go feel say, okay, because he not getting picking in person for government house, they not do road for inside. We go do road. Speaking of road, have you been to Edo Central recently to look who the kind of road when they there? Meanwhile, this Edo Central has had 2 ministers of works. 2, I mean 3 self. They have had all sorts of high government officials. So it's not really about who they there. It's about that person's attitude to service delivery. So I commit, so that my point is not missed in all of my rambling, and I ask you to forgive me. I commit to ensuring inclusive government and to dealing with any perceived imbalances. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think that's very, very clear. Right now, in Abia State, I don't know if they have not seen which zone Alex Oti is from. All they see is good governance. And I honestly, for myself, I say all the time, I always say that competence will always trump zoning. That is my 2 cents, just to add to that. All right, let me bring in my friend and my brother. Tomorrow is his birthday. So I just want to do pre-birthday. You have to do him pre-birthday, happy birthday first. And my paddy, I call him the punisher of the children of the roasted corn. And he's here with us. Jimmy, let me bring you into the conversation now. Happy birthday, my brother, in advance. Please, you have the space to ask a question. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Saddam. Thank you. Your Excellency, because you're already our governor. I'm a Yoruba boy. I'm not from Edo State, but into Baimoti Bauju. So Edo State is part of Nigeria. We need to take it the way it is. The last question was actually taken from the actual question I wanted to ask you. All protocols duly observed. Everybody, I can see all the regulars here. So I was going to ask of your insight, because I've been asking this question and I've not actually gotten any specific answer. I was going to ask was, what is the genesis of this zoning? What is the importance of this zoning? Because you see, this whole zoning thing, it's a jinx that needs to be broken this 2024. We need to let people understand that it's not about where you come from, because it has not benefited anyone since they've been doing that. So if you can a little bit educate us on the genesis or the beginning of the reason why that a zoning thing started, if you have any idea of that. And lastly, what it is that you possess that all the remaining candidates don't. Sell yourself to us. Let us know how outstanding you are, and that will be what we will be capitalizing on. That will be the basis at which we will be promoting you everywhere we go henceforth. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yomi Eshegun, and happy birthday in advance. I wish you all the best, and I pray for long life and prosperity for you, and in good health, of soundness of mind and body. I think I alluded to this. Your first question, I think I gave some a background. This zoning business, well, I don't. I will not say I don't subscribe to affirmative action. Is the affirmative action, which zoning is a to take the black empowerment program in South Africa. So after apartheid, it was recognized that the black South Africans had been definitely disadvantaged, and so measures were taken to try and fast track their growth and development in business and in the economy. That's what brought that about. In Australia, the Aborigines have also had their own leapfrogging because of the disadvantages that they suffered. American Indians, same thing. So that is where zoning comes from, or affirmative action comes from, when there's a perceived imbalance. I belong to a generation who went to federal school in Nigeria, and we used to have. I went to King's College, but we had what they call quota system. That one too is some form of affirmative action, where you give some session to all equals because you feel that one did not have quite a fair deal at some point. If you remember, our brothers and sisters from the north, in some states were considered to be educationally disadvantaged, so therefore they got a lift. So bring us to states. You say zoning, because democracy is all about numbers. You find out that there's the possibility that you could find only one group running a state or a nation if some kind of steps are not taken to create balance and create and to provide to make for equity. So that is how zoning showed up in our political lexicon, and of course it has been abused by our politicians. They underperform and then take cover under zoning. They are not competent, but they take cover under zoning. And then, and those who get into office because they want to perpetuate themselves in power, take all the benefits to their own side of the fence, and make sure that they tar even areas that don't need road, you tar the road there, sha. Anything that you just do it, sha, so that next time when you call your people, they'll say, this is our champion. So the people on the other side of the fence, the other zone, will say, well, if that's what you do, and the next time we'll go vote, make my own brother there inside, so that he can tar the roads on our own side. But all of this is, you and I know, it's utter crap, because at the end of the day, it is just self-serving politicians who use this as an excuse to keep themselves in power. They create division amongst the people, You now see this unhealthy rivalry. People are fighting because they believe that it is only when my own is there that I can benefit. So, but Labour Party, I believe, and I'm very, very, very certain, will turn things around. Will change this narrative because, like Saddam has said already, competence would always trump zoning, and we as a people must get up and say this thing called zoning or this thing called affirmative action. The global standard is that it must have what they call a sunset clause. You don't zone in perpetuity. You don't do affirmative action in perpetuity. So when we are planning for zoning, we should also plan for an exit clause because we must at some point enthrone meritocracy and competence because sometimes zoning is antithetical to merit and sometimes to merit and competence. So in my view, this is my own take. This is how this zoning thing started and has taken root in our political lexicon. I hope I've answered your question. But the other question you raised, what's my USP, my unique selling point? I don't know if it may not be unique. There may be others like me, but definitely not in this particular race. I belong to the Labour Party and we are for the people. That's number one. The people must be returned to the center of politics and governance in Nigeria. That is what I stand for. I also stand for prudence in government. I was, like I said, I was with Dr. a few days ago, and we're talking about just how to run government in today's Nigeria. First and foremost, you must understand that most of our problems arise from over-bloated governments. Our problems rise from the cost of governance in Nigeria. That's where Dr. Oti is different. He runs a lean government, and that's what I'm proposing. Run a lean government, and make sure that you get your priorities right. I will be prudent, firstly, and I will prioritize properly. The people will be at the top of my priority. So projects, policies will be people-centric, people-focused. So if you decide to take a private, as governor, you use private jets every month, and you go to Abuja 10 times a month. It's $13,000 today to use a private jet to Abuja from Benin. If you use that one, go come, not be 26,000. But I'm going to do the math. Something will give. Something has to give. If you use $26,000 to fly for one, waiting Green Africa, if you carry you go come just now, you use $26,000 to go and do that. That's what probably a couple of primary schools that will just go, will just not happen. A couple of primary healthcare centers that will not happen because something will have to give. So I am for prudence in government. I am for lean government. I am for prioritizing the people. When I was president of the Nigerian Bar Association, I mean, it's a relatively small organization, but the principles are the same. I got there and found, everybody's Nigerian Bar Association is broke. Oh, they are going to look for money from governments when NBA ordinarily should have no business going to ask any government for money. By the time I left there, I left 1.5 billion naira in the bank for the NBA because we could afford it. We ran all our programs. We did not beg anybody. We did not stop donations. If you want to donate to us, donate to the association, but with no strings attached. We were able to run our programs, save money, and to the satisfaction of our members. It is the same principles. So what makes me different is that I am not going in there to just write on my CV that I was governor. I am going in there to make a difference, to change the narrative. And we will apply best practice, global best practice in the running of the state. So, my dear brother, birthday boy, I hope I've been able to answer your two questions.
You did perfectly. Thank you so much, sir. God bless you.
So you made an allegation on this platform, and this platform is called the Violence Space, the home of facts and figures. Whatever you say on this platform, we checkmate you, we fact check you at the spot. You made an allegation on this platform. You said that there are signposts in Edo State where where you see this is a federal road. Please bear with the Edo State government. And I want to tell you authoritatively that you have been fact-checked and you have been found to be saying the truth. Oh my goodness. I am seeing signposts, big signposts. What? In 2024? No, PDP, no wonder they're doing, no wonder that they have reverted to tribalism and bigotry. No wonder. This is real. I'm seeing it here. This is a federal road. Please bear with the government, the Edo State government.
Saddam, you don't know, say my governor, they use helicopter for Edo State when you want to travel from Benin to Auchi.
I heard they call him the helicopter governor.
Now me call her, not be them.
Oh.
Now me call her. Now me call her helicopter governor.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's go. Rolling. It's insane. It's insane what's happening in governance in that state. A great state. Let's ask more questions, please. All right, let me open up the space right now. Let me bring in Dr. Ohekena. Dr. Ohekena, please, you have the space in 1 minute, please, guys. Let's keep our questions as short as possible. Mr. Steve, you want to say something?
Yes, let me crave your indulgence. Guys, there's a tweet I posted on the Jumbotron in the spirit of obedience. Now we have confirmed that our visitor on this space is an obedient. There's a tweet on the Jumbotron I just made yesterday. Please engage that tweet. I said, obedience operation, adopt a local government. We need obedience people across the world to choose a local government in Edo State, where your support group and your association will ensure that people here that are obedient, someone that believes in the people is running. And when you do that, reach out to us on the DM. It's on the Jumbotron. Thank you very much, Adam. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. All right, Dr. Hacken, I have this in 1 minute, please. Straight questions, no submissions. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ambassador. Good evening from my end and everybody in the house. Barrister Olumide, good evening. Sir. Sir. Olabon. I'll greet you in my one language. Sir.
Yes, sir.
My quick question is, sir. My quick question is, the local government system in Nigeria is nothing to write home about. What will you do differently to give power and autonomy to this closest arm of government to the people? Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, Dr. Dr. Ohekena. Well, at least, thank God, I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. That is the government closest to the people. And in our typical fashion, we have bastardized that system. You go to America, and the average American is more interested in who is his mayor, as against who is the governor of his state. So, but in Nigeria, because the people are not important, the people don't matter. So that level of government, or that tier of government that is closest to the people, has been almost eroded. State governors just simply take over local governments in their states, and they fire and they hire as they will. In fact, in Edo State on the 2nd of September last year, the PDP government claimed to have held local government elections. It was a sham. That much I can say. Because again, it's not important. Meanwhile, it is that level of that tier of government that takes care of the primary healthcare centers we're talking about, that will take care of the markets, that will take care of our primary schools and all of that. The issues that are important to the people. So they have to wait for state government or from governor from state capital to deal with their issues, when ordinarily the system was designed for them to have a local government chairman to whom they can run to with their issues. But thankfully, there has been a constitutional amendment, if I'm not mistaken, that is dealing with that issue, and definitely we will. I think we'll see things will change in Nigeria by that singular occurrence. But having said that, even if there was no such change in our laws, as governor, it will be in my own interest to enable local governments. They are the government, like I said, closest to the people. I have nothing to fear, nothing to lose. Why on earth would you want to eclipse that whole tier of government? which is what we see. I would enable local government system. I would work through them. I will not be a governor who will sit in the state capital. I will collaborate with the local government chairpersons to ensure that government at that level is functional, is optimal, is operational. And you know what I mean. So that's why I'm looking forward to that kind of collaboration, because that is the easiest way for people to feel the presence of government. So if we have local governments running optimally, then you will truly have a story to tell, truly. So I think it's a no-brainer, and I feel really sad at the way local governments in Nigeria have been rendered almost totally useless by state governments. Hopefully, the new state of affairs would change this. Thank you, Dr. Ekena.
All right, thank you very much. Please, guys, when you've asked questions, I have to drop you for other people to come up and ask questions. All right, please, in a minute, every question's in a minute, real quick. Thank you very much. And if you're up here and you want to ask questions, please, your hands will be up. Please, I'll drop every other person down right now, except our guests, so that we can bring more people. We have over hundreds of requests here. I want to bring in as much as people as possible. Please. Thank
Saddam,
you.
let me drop so you can have more rooms. Let me drop. I'll come back.
God bless you, my brother. Happy birthday in advance one more time. Thank you. All right, Omon, Ojote Osas. Good evening, sir. You have the space. Please, in a minute, ask your question, please.
All right. Good evening. Am I audible?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah. Am I audible?
You're audible, sir. I can hear you, sir. Please ask your question. Go on, sir.
Thank you very much, Adam. It's a great pleasure putting me on the audience to speak tonight. I've had day in the night, Tuesday, Thursday, when Saturday was he on. So concerning this subject, Olumide Apata in the house, it's a pleasure speaking directly to him. I'm from East and Southeast, Wohimi, which is the hometown of Aswe Odal. I want to say is this: as a faithful and loyal obedience, some of us we are tribal blind for quality, we are looking for capacity, we are looking for competence. Sentiments are all over. But there's one thing I want to draw the attention of Olumide and the several people that are listening here. Some of us in this obedience,
Omon, please don't draw our attention. Please ask question, please. I want you to ask question, please. So we can have other ask questions. Thank you, bro.
Some of us here, we are not helping the cause of Olumide. The reason being that some statement we are making online here is even provoking some of the supporters, including me. On Tuesday, I was on this place. I want Dr. Barry made a statement that.
Sorry, Omo.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll trash all this outside this space. Just ask Dr. Olumide the question.
Okay. Barrister, I want to ask you, because we know the Nigeria politics, tribal sentiment, religious sentiment, and all that. Made by one Dr. Barry that they will use the numbers. They have the number, they have this. So if you are elected as governor, as people like that are around you, what is the hope of those minorities in Edo State? Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Who be Dr. Barry? I don't know him.
The violence they know him.
Okay. So I don't think he'll be around me. That's not why they say I don't know him. So
no verse. Please, yeah. Let me just answer on your behalf before you answer for you, please, because we are on the spot. Come on, my brother. It's good to have you here. It's good to know that you've been with us for over 2 years now on this platform. So your family, right? So it's not as if saying you say the violence place they know. You supposed to say we know him. We are together. Abi, Omon, are we not together again? Please answer me, Omon, please. Are we not together anymore?
Omar, your mic is mute.
Omon.
I'm right here, full chest with you.
So now we get violence place now, Abi.
Yes.
Now, so if you say Dr. Barry, now we. That one now we discussion. We will discuss about in
Okay,
house.
so that one not really
views,
concern me.
our views has nothing to do with Olumide.
What I'm saying here is not falsehood.
No, please just don't take any views we hear on the violence place has nothing to do with the man. The man just came here to have a conversation with me and you. Our views are not his views. Our views do not represent his campaign. It is important to understand this. Is that my brother?
Yeah,
We'll discuss
Sadam,
our plan next week.
so be very clear. When Dr. Barry said that,
But Saddam, just to let Omon know that as I just saying on the listening when we talk since, and I have said that Labour will run an all-inclusive government, and we're not here to outnumber anybody or to make anybody feel they are not part of Edo State. Not possible. Edo na one. Edo na one. I'm a totally detribalized Nigerian, a totally detribalized Edoite. Edo na one. Edo Central will feature prominently in any Labour government that I will be running. So you leave that side. No, let's not believe all those. When people they try hit up the policy, just pour water on top of the matter, make it come down. Go. I don't. I'm not an ethnic bigot, so I know they do all those kinds of things.
Omar, are you okay? Now you satisfied?
I'm okay. Thank you. God bless all of you.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. God bless you. We'll be back on Tuesday. Thank you. All right, let's move on real quick. Let me bring in a lady right now, Valerie. Then I'll come to Harry. Wahala, don't come space. All right, let's go. Valerie, you have the space in 1 minute, please. Can you ask your questions to Mr. Olumide? Thank you.
Thank you, Emmy. I agree the house. Thank you, Olumide, for hosting us. So I hope nobody has asked this question, so I'll just keep it brief because I actually had network issues. So my number one question is, what do you think about people attacking obedience or people attacking people that want to vote for Labour Party candidates? And
And what the people want, we must ensure we close mark the process. We not agree for anybody, but it's a we matter. It's not just me as a candidate, but it is us. You have talked about, getting discouraged after election victories being stolen. We can't give up. Nobody said it to be easy. We can't give up. We must continue to stand firm. And you can be sure on my part as a candidate, I will play my part effectively. There are stakeholders that we have to engage to ensure that the will of the people prevails. So no dulling on my part, no dulling on my part at all. I will do all I can and need to do at my own end. But I will need you, Valerie, and the others who are voters in Edo State to ensure that we protect the votes and that the will of the people will prevail. And this is not just empty talk, but of course, we're not going to reveal all our strategies, but have it in mind. Know this and know peace that we will protect the vote of the people. The people's will be allowed to prevail. But your first question is one that has not been asked before. My attitude to people attacking obedience and those who vote for LP candidates. I have zero tolerance for such rubbish, and I really cannot stand that kind of behavior. And in the gubernatorial elections in Lagos last year, it was something that was on full display, and I stood up to be counted, and when our brothers and sisters from the eastern part of Nigeria were harassed, were intimidated, were in fact were humiliated by their neighbors in Lagos because of the fact that they wanted to vote for a Labour Party government in Lagos State. I stood up I wrote an article that I published where it was titled "We Are All Igbo," because for me I saw the danger in that kind of behavior. Because I could have easily said no, I wasn't the one I wasn't the butt of, or I wasn't the victim at that point in time, so there was no need to complain. But I'm sure you're aware of that saying that if you may, even if it may not be you today, but tomorrow. And I stood with my Igbo brothers and sisters on that occasion, and I deprecated that kind of behavior. I called the people out. I called my friends, my friends who said nothing, who did not speak up. So Yashukudi is not allowed to come out to vote because if she's not voting for a particular party. How? That is totally unacceptable. It will happen in Lagos. It might happen tomorrow in another part of the country if we don't stop that kind of behavior. I've traveled around the world. I have seen what that kind of ethnic profiling, what it can do to a country, what it can do to a city. If you've been to Ireland, if you've been to Northern Ireland, you will see that this is dangerous behavior that cannot be allowed to happen. So I stood up to be counted, and you can be sure that I will stand up again in the face of such a tyranny and in the face of such a intimidation and bullying of any section of Nigeria.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Well answered. All right, let me run straight down to Harry. We have been here with Olumide for over extra. We have gone past second half. We have gone past extra time, and I think it's time. He has given us extra time. So we have hundreds of people here.
The thing they come down past 100. What did they happen?
And it's not going down. It's not going down. It's people really want to ask you questions. My DMs are a mess. The comment section, we have over 700 questions I want to be asked to you from Facebook, from YouTube. There are questions I want to be thrown to you, and we cannot ask all these questions now. I think you've covered so many major key talking points, and I think you will have to make a commitment to us when you will come back again, because these conversations are one that you should be having, I think, as often as possible. But let me run to Harry right now. Harry is did they I think he has decided he must have fallen off. But guys, this is the violence space, and you've been listening to Olumide Apata. Okay, he's back here with us for the past over 2 hours now. He has been on the seat asking, receiving questions, answering questions from Nigerians, from Edolites, most especially from Edolites. So I will just run now to Harry. Hardy is one man soldier, sir. One man mopo. One man mopo. And he's here to ask you a question that has to bother with his state, Edu. Harry, have the space, my brother. Welcome in a minute, please.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, MS Adam. Thank you, everybody. Epadomo, Boato. As my mom she go say, Lamezi,
Oh, yo.
you know, Domosa. I've been here and I've been listening to everything you've been saying. I want to say, I really like your confidence. You the yarn as I want hear or as it be, or maybe not because as I want hear I'm sure. Maybe you don't already win one soft spot for my side, but soft spot aside, I want just let you know, say, um, I don't want to make you explain too much because I don't already know, say, 60% you go date Dennis or Sadebia Avenue for after September. But then I go enjoy your presence if you come here, come explain, come talk to us. But then besides that explanation, Epa, I go like make you show workings, because me, I like receipt to aware. I know they like talk too much. Now workings, that be my talk. So that aside, I will ask you my question now. And my question be say, as a person who grew up for Benin City, for those states, Gelegele seaports are something we be like say na legend to most of us. We be say we dey young, and many people don't promise us. So if my question, I don't want to make you promise me. Just I want make you tell me the truth as it be for your mind. If that Gelegele seaport na legend or na something we be say go fit come to reality for our lifetime. Now, my question with that.
Hello, Harry. Harry. Okay. The only matter when I diverse for saying only one soft spot I get for your side. You go make like 3 now.
No, as the day goes by, go the plenty,
okay, I can't they worry. You can't even score me 60% self. That one, I'm normally a better student. Anyway, I just the joke. How your side, eh? Well, yeah.
Yes, sister.
So speaking to your first issue, now show your working. I be the only way. But I still get to call Yan Sha. Really, the principles are the same. It's management of men and I'm not here for self. I'm here. Now legacy with the look. Now future of our country with the look. There are still some of us when Sabi walk. Now the country never spoil reach where we're not going to see good people again. Some of us see there, and I'm sure you are one of them. Gelegele Seaport, say this dark matter, just like you now, we don't hear. Did you walk on to story? So, but I'm very attracted to the idea of the seaport, and now something when I would like to study closely, because that kind of thing ordinarily is supposed to open up our space, our economy. But I'm not going to tell you, say I can give you all the data right now or all the specifics, but now something when I go look closely, because I know the multiplier effect of a seaport of that nature. I have people when I respect when they serve on the committee, and they anytime I ask the guy, they call them, and they phone them, say this is go work, and they seem to reassure me, say the plan is a good plan. So I'm not going to talk say because I dey compete against the government in power, I go just come say na nonsense. No, but I really have to do my studying and do my due diligence. Like I said, I get people when they the committee, and they ask them, they put them under pressure because the matter don't want come to take, may not come be saying a voicemail matter we don't enter. So, but hey, they don't finish. I wish it would be a good viable project, because it will inure to the benefit that will come out of it will endure to all Edo people. So now that one, now there I feel talk the matter rich.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very
Take care,
much.
my brother.
Now only way I get to talk with that. Thank you very
All
much.
right, thank you very much. And from behind the Gele support, they don't drag my back, they drag my legs, say Oga has to go, Oga has to leave, and he has been here for an extra 45 minutes. And honestly, sir, we don't take it for granted. For us on this platform, we know how important these conversations are and how much you need to really sell yourself to the people. But at the same time, we also understand that time is money, and we know that there are people behind the scenes that really need to have you right now. So I think guys, we cannot go any further with Mr. Olumide. For him, he want to stay going forward, but there are people behind that really need to take him off the space right now. And he has given us his first close to 3 hours now, sir. But I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hands up here. I want to ask you a question already. Should I allow these 5 people ask question once, or do you want to go now? Let me put you on the spot.
Sadan, I mean the talk.
Yes, sir.
What was your question? I'm so sorry.
I said I'm about to exit you from the space, but I have like 1, 2, 3,
You want
4,
drive
5.
me?
No, people where they from back, they say they want drag me as if you want to, but then they say you have to leave. So you know, as all these things they be. Make tomorrow when I say, oh yeah, guy, they come again, they talk, say that one will give you how many hours. You can't do over Sabi. You know, will come. You know, so I'm trying to respect the fact that we have a time frame with you on this platform, and we have gone like an hour above what we planned with you. Can you just give us the honors of answering all the people that are up here with you, or you can say exit. If you say an exit, we all accept the fact that you have done exceedingly well today. But if you can say, okay, let me just answer all these people up here, you don't do extra.
That's now this 500 with the system, Abi.
And also with the open, with the hands up here like this.
We'll take them. I beg now. I know we're good now. Before hands start to depend them.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I hope then your people, please, and the team behind the scene, Gele team, stop sending me message. It is not my. I want to pursue him. He say he want to stay. Please stop messaging me. Thank you. Let me start with my amiable.
Okay, quickly, my top question is for is as regards not really a question, but this is about dissent voices in the Labour Party right now that some are using the excuse of zoning as their problem. Some are genuinely feeling zoning is their problem. Hope there are plans to get them back in the fold, because to an extent they are causing a lot of, making it very difficult to campaign. So I hope you have plans to get them back in the fold. That's the question.
Thank you, my brother. I'm most grateful and always glad to speak with a fellow worry boy or full wafi. Well, you know full wafi, Nabi.
I be full wafi, but like you, the way you take come my side, come pen, not so I take pen for your side. I did been 20 years plus.
Correct. Not bad. Now we. So anyhow, so yes, we must heal the wounds. We must bridge the divide. I can understand, but what we must not allow, because quarrel day where two different kinds of quarrel deal. There's the quarrel of adverse because I've been offended. There's the quarrel of adverse because they say we dey listen to people when not like us. They will not listen to people when want scatter us. So if I am to say anything, I go say no. Maybe we check out the people when they talk inside our ear. They tell us say this one do one thing, do two things. What will be their motive? What are they trying to achieve? They want to scatter this thing because they want to use the excuse of, oh, they don't give us donate. Let us be careful. However, efforts must be made. We will call everybody. Say, see, even if that's what the thing happen now, steps will be taken to correct whatever anomalies, whatever aberration we see for the setting. We must give that assurance. We must give that comfort to our people. Obedience, Edolites, those from Edo Central, we must let them know, say, not be say, it's not a winner takes all kind of thing. One person must win. So as one person don't win now, we will say, okay, next step, what will be next step? How we want to correct this matter? You understand what I'm saying? So at least on my own part, I'm speaking to the leaders of the party, now the same sentiment me they see as far as labor is concerned. And with regard to obedience here, and the obedience and all of the stuff going on here, I'm sure that I definitely, anything when me feel do to put hand inside the matter to bring everybody back under the same umbrella. Well, I don't want to use umbrella, not the umbrella. Everybody under the same fold. So I will definitely do my part.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. All
No,
right.
I beg, bring them under Papa Mama picking.
Not the umbrella matter, I beg. And
All
we
right,
don't
real
need
quick,
broom. We don't need broom. We don't need broom too.
Real quick, Kevin the Satirist, please, the minute, please, your question, please. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much with us today. My name is Kelvin Aibo J. I'm from Owa East, Owa. Yeah, my question is actually two, but I'm gonna rope them into one quickly. I believe the reason why many of us have found ourselves in this peculiar time, this period, this gathering, is because of one man who we actually look up to, who we of this movement, which is my principal, Mr. Peter Obi. Now, I want to know, just in one sentence, I just want to know, sir, what is the core message of your campaign, and how do you intend to use it to excite the voters in Edo State? Because, sir, trust me, the voter apathy in Edo State right now is beyond what people are actually actually thinking of. A lot of people are not really happy about the political setting in Edo State. A local government election was conducted. It was a sham. The 2023 election, people were disappointed. In my polling units, I had people who were destroying their voters card. So, but the one thing I know is that kind of excitement that Peter Obi's personality brought, that kind of that the way he sold himself to the people, the message he was passing across.
Question, please.
Yeah, I think he gets what I'm saying. So what is the core message of your campaign, and how do you intend to use it to excite the voters? Thank you very much.
You.
Saddam.
Kelvin, thank you. So I think the fact that I personally stand for the people first, I think that's the first thing I'm putting forward. It is about the people. And I'm not just saying this in a vacuum. That message has already been passed on to members of the Labour Party, and they are excited that it is about them, that we are here because of them, and that our policies will be directed at them. And they have also, and so they have. I mentioned this before already, and they supported me, but they supported on one condition, which is the point you have alluded to, that we will work to protect their vote and ensure that their votes count. So, and we have said that that will be done, that we will work to protect the vote. We will do what we need to do. We will pull all the stops to ensure that their votes are protected. So, the first thing is the people are the most important thing to us in Labour Party. Papa, Mama, Pikin. All our policies will take root from that, will take off from that point. It is about the people, what is most important to the majority of the people. But then we are not just going to come and speak grammar. We are going to ensure that we do the work. We pound the streets. we protect the votes, we call out the stakeholders, ensure that it will not be a situation of a monkey walk, a babu chop. No, we will ensure that the people go out, and it is what they want that will prevail. So I don't know what else I can say to this point, because like one of my brothers said, it's really a matter of show you're working. You know, after a while, people begin to say talk is cheap. You know what I mean? So I'm a bit hesitant to keep on rambling on the point. The Bible says, "By their fruits you shall know them." So I think time will tell whether or not, as I dey talk and as I go do them, if you know what I mean. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I think that was straight to the point. All right, let's go to Stefan Egbon. Please, you have the space in 1 minute, please. Question, please. State your question. 1 minute, please.
Thank you so much, Saddam, and all protocols duly observed. Sir Olumide, I have a question that I want to ask. But first, someone mentioned about unique quality. But I believe, because I grew up in Benin, so I believe compassion and kindness to the Edo people should be that unique skill or that unique soft skill you should have towards us. Because if you are compassionate about the people, you would want to make things work out for us. So I beg you, in the name of God and in the name of our ancestors, please make Edo work. So my question is, what is your plan towards tourism, culture, and education? Because you see people say school na scam. Majority of them being Benin boys. I grew up in Benin and stuff. So I want to know what your contribution towards education would be, because we want to see an Edo where the Edo lights are reasonable. We know what we're doing. We're focused and all that. So what is your contribution going to be towards culture, tourism, and education? I mean, Edo State is a place of culture. We all know that. We know our culture.
Thank you, thank you, Nosa. Thank you. Sir, question on what is your position on education, culture, tourism? Please, real quick, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so with regard to culture, culture is a unique selling point. But before let me quickly go, Nosa. You talked about compassion. I already mentioned that. I think that is one missing. That's something that's missing in the government of the day. No compassion, no empathy. They don't really get it. You know what I mean? What the people want is not important to them. That is what I bring to the table. I am about the people. So compassion, empathy, definitely my strong points. Culture, unique selling point for Edo State. So the plan is to build up the sector. But firstly, security is critical. Culture and tourism will only thrive in a secure environment. I'm not going to do tourism for where I'm not going to carry to my leg, go do tourism for where they will colobim me or tanek me for junction. So what I will not do, I will not expect another man to do. So we will have to fix our security architecture first, which I've already spoken to that point before we now start looking at culture and tourism. So the way to go about culture and tourism is to build a value chain. You have to grow the sector. You have to develop those areas of unique comparative advantage that we have in the sector. You have to train people. So because it's a service sector, it's a whole value chain. You have to train people in the skills that are required for that sector, from tour guides, even just tour guides alone. That's an industry by itself. I don't know if you've gone on pilgrimages before. You find that there's a whole industry, people who are trained to be tour guides, to talk about us, to guide the tourists when they come, as the name suggests. Hotels, recreational centers, all of those things. Government would have to be a player in the sector. Government would have to invest in the sector, and they can pull out later. But there's no doubt that the initial outlay would have to be borne by government to a large extent. But like I said, it's a whole value chain, training people, providing opportunities for them to acquire skills in the sector, and then look for those unique selling points around the state. Look at us. I don't know if you've been to Ososo. Of course, you know Igun Street in Benin. Ososo is in Akoko Edo. I think it's more beautiful than Cape Town. So if we get security right, we can harness all of these resources or all of this potential and get people to come back to visit us again, like used to be the case. Just the whole Bini traditional system. I tell you that the rest of the country is intrigued just by the fact of our royal house that is 1,000 years old. System of primogeniture, father to son, unbroken for what, over 600 years. And the fact that we have maintained our traditional institutions, that by itself is a selling point. It is a crowd puller if we're able to harness all of that. I remain extremely proud to call myself a Benin man and a loyal subject of His Royal Majesty Omonoba Nedo. With regard to education, I mentioned the fact that I renovated a school in Ewato in Edo State. I did that because it was extremely important for me to demonstrate that top on my priority would be education, priority list. I mean, it is, and anything else would be a distant second. It is so important. Just not just education. We're talking about human capital development. We have to develop our people because it is our people that are our greatest resource. So we have to do a total revamp of our system of education. We have to look into into our curricula. What are we teaching our students today? Are they able to compete with their peers in other parts of the world? So for me, education, it goes beyond brick and mortar. So you fix the brick and mortar issues. What about the soft issues? What about teacher training? I mean, you can have all the desks you want, but if there are no teachers to teach the students, it's a non-starter. So teacher training is critical. Teacher welfare is critical. Teacher remuneration is critical because they are the ones they are the key personnel in this sector, the teachers. So
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, you have done enough justice, please. So I will just wrap up this set of speakers, please. Thank you, sir. You have answered that question very well. No, sir, go and start the space afresh. He talked about education before, and please, if you know any question you have answered before, please don't ask that question also, please. So we can wrap up this question and answer right now, please. How about John? You have the space in 1 minute, please. Ask your question straight to the question, please. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me up here. Thank you, Emir Saddam. My name is Albert Johnson, and I'm from Akoko Edo local government. Earlier on, you mentioned about Akoko Edo being one of the oldest local government in Nigeria, and it always seems that we are being abandoned. There's no government presence in Akoko Edo. You also mentioned about Ososo earlier on, and I'm from Somorika, similar to Ososo. There's a lot of potential out there, but so what are your plans for the people of Akoko Edo? Thank you for this. Thank you for an opportunity to ask this question.
Thank you, Albert. I'm really grateful. So as quickly as possible, I hate injustice. I cannot stand when an aberration is allowed to perpetuate itself. There's no doubt that as long as it's within my power and ability, if I am governor, first and foremost, we must create more local governments out of that area. It's just not fair. It's totally unfair, and that much I would champion to the extent that I'm able to influence the process. And then apart from that, yeah, you're right. There's just so much. I just noticed that that part of the state. I have good friends from Ososo. His Royal Majesty is also a good friend of mine. The new king of Ososo, and so I tend to go there now and again, and I notice there's just something not quite right about the neglect that I seem to notice. We have equitable distribution of our resources in that direction. I don't know. Maybe somebody can tell me what exactly is the problem. I don't know, but there's something not quite right about the way things are, and you can be sure that we will help to boost the economy of the area. Tourism will flourish in that area. I know that for a fact. I know that we used Samarica, the Samarica hills that you mentioned, Samarica, there used to be a resort or at least there was some very cynic resort in Ososo many years ago. I don't know if it's still in existence, that would attract tourists easily. But there's a lot of work that needs to be done. The road network is a disaster, and I couldn't help laughing when I was driving to Igara one day on a really horrible road, and I saw road safety personnel standing there, and I was just wondering what road are they superintending? There's no road, so I guess they just added to the nightmare. So they are there fleecing bike men and fleecing transporters on a road that is already a nightmare to even navigate. So Albert, you have. I always give the example of Akokwedo because I know it's the problem that we must resolve. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mike. Please, in 30 seconds, your question, please. Thank you.
Yeah, you'll be giving everybody 1 minute. Okay, I'll be very brief. Epadomo, my name is Michael Gbede, President CEO Michael Powers. We into defense, security, and policy. I just want to ask this question, on behalf of the private sector where I belong. If we send you anything regard the security support and project finance, will that take weeks or will it take months for you to basically respond to? Because as an executive, you will be making an executive decision, and you will agree with me that speed in itself is efficiency. Thank you.
Well, so thank you so much. I come from a world where you must be nimble, you must be quick. You cannot let the perfect be the enemy of the good. So I'm not going to wait for anything to crystallize into perfection before we start to deal with it. And I believe in ideas. I believe in the superiority of ideas. So whatever you send to us, we will look at. As anything security is music to my ears because that is a real challenge for our state. Security is critical, and any solutions will be thoroughly interrogated, thoroughly reviewed, and applied where we find that is a right fit. Project finance, that is the world I come from. I've been a lawyer in that space, and I know that it is something that we are going to need plenty of. Project financing is something that we will need partners to come work with us on the various projects in the various sectors that we're looking at. So, short answer to your question, you can be sure that you will definitely have my attention, and I will be very swift in responding to any value-adding suggestions that you will bring to the table. So, where's the Kakabokoyo?
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. All right, well, Nigeria, please, if you can do it in 30 seconds, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sadam. Mine is so I wouldn't want to stress Barrister Olumide again. I don't think he has to answer my question today. I think mine is more like, first an advice, then secondly, a question I doesn't really need to answer now. First, the advice is just to buttress what Kevin has said earlier. I think what Kevin was trying to say is really pretty much of an advice. A barrister, you need to be in people's faces. You need to, and I trust you can do that. See what you did in the primary, be in people's faces. Like I heard you earlier in the space said you were going to do vlog. I was just saying, when you said, I was like, I hope in that process you pop out in places unexpected, expected. Really just need to be in people's faces so that people can be excited just the same way people were excited before Peter Obi. Now, the question is really, for me, for a Edo State election, I'm looking for specificity as much as possible. Right? I know there's tendency for everybody to say, okay, I'll do security, I'll do this, I'll do that. I really just want to say, ask this, and maybe the next time you may come on space or your manifesto, that's where I'll get the answer. I really would wish, I would appeal that you be specific about, you always talk about what the people need, about what you think the people need. Personally, if you ask me, I'm going to say power and infrastructure, but at least two things, and be as much as possible specific. So if, for example, you are going to say, when I become governor, 50% of Edo State or this particular city is going to have 247 electricity, so that I can hold you, like I can say, you said it specifically, rather than if I hear, okay, you said, don't worry, power will be solved and all that. So it's just that specificity. But I know, you are not the typical politicians that have punchlines. By the time you do your survey and know what is obtainable, you can start. That's when you can come to specificity. But I'm really hoping that the next time we hear from you, I'm going to ask this question again whenever I get the chance to speak to you. But I wanted to ask it now so that you can have the time to go and review. And I wanted to also ask it last so that it will also be on your mind, things that you intend to do as specific as possible. So that's really it.
Thank you, my bro. Yeah, I do intend to be in people's faces. In fact, they go tire for me. We are going to show up. I don't intend to sit down in Benin to run a campaign. The first month, right after, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to start another tour of the state, and I call it a needs assessment tour. I'm just going to find out in greater detail what it is that people are yearning for, because these things are dynamic. Nothing is static. So what may have been an issue last year probably is not an issue this year. So definitely, I will be going around. I will share my experiences with you. I'll definitely with you guys. I'll definitely come back here at some point. Specificity. Of course, we can't drop everything on the table in one day, but I think I mentioned in the course of this interaction that take primary healthcare centers, for example. We are going to establish primary healthcare centers. No Edo person would need to go beyond a 5-minute walk. Let me not say a 5-minute drive to get to a primary healthcare center. That for me is my desire. Definitely power is, for me, first on my list is indeed power. I've been in electricity law for a while now. I understand the system, how it works, and you and I know the multiplier effect that power has on any economy. Thank goodness, state governments can generate power on their own now. So we are going to be on the lookout for investors to ensure that we have. Look at the Azura project, which, by the way, I was fortunate to be a lawyer on that project. The Azura project in Edo State. That project is taking is responsible for about 10% of all what you have on the national grid. Now that states can generate their own power, that power will be directed. That kind of power, if we have that kind of project, we'll direct the power to Edo people. So yeah, I'm happy you mentioned that some of these issues will show up in our manifesto. I promise you that will definitely be the case, and we will make specific commitment after we have done more of a deep dive, and done extensive needs assessment, so that I can come up with the kind of specificity that you require, so you can hold me to my commitment. So I hope that works.
Perfect.
We have a deal. I hope.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Olumide. Thank you, guys. We have come to the end of today's one-on-one with Olumide Apata. We'll be having a reaction probably for the next few minutes after the space. Thank you so much, Mr. Olumide. Thank you, my fellow co-hosts, my fellow speakers, those that did not get a chance to ask him questions today. Definitely to ask him a question. He has done for me, he has done exceedingly well. He has gone way above his time, and I know the repercussion will now come on my head. And I know good day when they go knock me out. Like a minute or two to give us a parting word to the esteemed people that have been here listening to you all for the past couple of hours, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Saddam. Thank you for fact-checking me. So you see, I'm not a talk lie. So there's now